It don't read my people as it don't boss as the Biafra Nations League has done it again once more, which has put your one and only Jagaban in shock as their oil installation has been brought down, attacked by the BNL. My people now, so it go they hot. Anytime when it comes to anything we concern the Biafra movement, it is a well prepared movement, and anything we want happen go happen without delay. Yes, my people will be going into the details of this news as see the hot. So yes, the latest one as EDB right now is that the Biafran Nations League has seized control of a major oil installation, of course, close to the Niger Delta region, which has further escalated the conflict and dealing a severe blow to Zoo's economic lifeline. Yes, the attack has taken place, and the BNL forces overtaking the facility after a brief standoff with the security personnel, or that of course the people they put in place to actually secure the area. The oil installation, which is one of the largest, of course, in the region, accounts for a significant portion of the Nigeria's crude oil production and revenue. The takeover has shocked through Nigeria's oil industry, with fears of production disruptions and a spike in global oil prices. Yes, and Expert has estimated that the halt in operations at the facility could cost the country millions of dollars in revenue daily, which they would normally still take and would not affect. I repeat, would not even affect anything at all. It is still in this same economy that the fuel has risen to 1,500 and so on and so forth. So my people, what is even the need of the amount of money that is made daily, since it is of no use and the people are not even benefiting from it? So my people, it is of a waste, because these are the amount of money they log into their accounts and take every day, sharing what is ours to themselves. My people, taking and the attack on this particular movement is crucial, and I believe it is what is needed one way or another. The zoo government already grappling with a halt, and everything that is happening is struggling to regain control of the situation. President Tinubu has declared the movement, that is the Biafra movement, as a national threat, and emergency meetings have been held to address the crisis. Nothing will be able to stop what we've decided to go on. I repeat, nothing. And this is because these people have refused to hearken to the warnings of the movement of PM Simon Ekwa and everything that has been coming against. At this point, he has refused. And so, because of that, anything they see, let them take it that way, because, of course, we know how far and how deep we've gone, and how we have really suffered in the hands of this set of people to be where we are right now. And we are not going to keep allowing it to happen. They will have to listen to us one way or another. Okay, they says that the of course it is known that this was done by the BNL, and they have said that this is just the beginning, and said the spokesperson, and Nigeria's stronghold on our people and resources will end. My people, it is as easy as ABCD. Let this particular set of people go. Give us permission, give us a referendum, and we will not have any problem with you. We would simply disappear, and would settle the issues that are meant to be settled with borders as it should. But then you people have decided to hold us fair and square, to put us in bondage, to look for a way to cleanse us. Well, if that is what you have, that if that is the decision they have made, then they have failed woefully, because we are not going to let any of it happen. Not at all. Okay, my people, as see the hot, this is what we have for you. The next thing you will be hearing would be what is connected. The PN giving us a hot, fearful broadcast as it hot on this level. Okay, my people, enjoy.
Of communication and the media team of the Biafra government in exile and de facto government in the homeland. Good evening, fellow Biafrans. I welcome all of you to this emergency State of the Union address of the Biafra Prime Minister, myself, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. My fellow Biafrans, this is month of October 2024, and we are very close to our convention in Finland. The security of life and property of Biafra people will always be the most priority of the Biafra government. And we will continue to respond proactively in solving and resolving the issue of security, especially when our people and our land comes under serious threat. Nigeria, as a failed state, will continue to fail to protect those that call themselves Nigerian citizens. The call for Biafra self-determination through the secessionists of Biafra, or through the secession of Biafra, as Nigeria terrorist state fondly call it, is deeply rooted in historical grievances. The economic grievances and economic disparity and socio-political marginalization, and now with the renewed Islamic Usman Danfodio expansionists. Our struggle has become a struggle for survival of the Biafra people. For many decades, Biafrans, both those who have agitated in the past, Biafrans, for many of these agitators have argued that for leaving Nigeria is not just about identity, but today it has become about the survival, progress, and justice. My fellow Biafrans, in the early hour of today, the 1st October 2024, the Biafra Defense Forces has destroyed, neutralized the proposed facility that was built to house and train Boko Haram in a place called Ehimembano in Imo State, former Imo State. Any more of such facility will be destroyed by Biafra forces. We call on Biafrans to give credible information on any further project of the Nigeria terrorist state targeted at bringing in Boko Haram for training in Biafraland, or to be used to house fighters that the intention was to use against Biafra forces. Because the Nigeria terrorist army has been defeated, and all they do is to bring in fighters in whatever guise. Biafraland is not good for Chinese loan. The Biafra people were excluded during the time Nigeria state took loan from China. Our land and our people are not good to be part of the dividend of Chinese loan. Biafraland is not good for rail line, where every part of Nigeria, as they created it fraudulently today, has benefited from the rail line, except Biafraland. Biafraland is not good to have seaport, irrespective of the fact that the Gulf of Guinea is connected to the Biafraland. Biafraland is not good for the headquarters of many multinational corporations that came to Nigeria or Niger area to do business only and solely for the natural resources that is found in Biafraland. None of these multinational corporations has their head office or headquarters in Biafraland to create jobs for the Biafra people, indigenous people. Biafraland is therefore not good for IDP camp or in any name that will accommodate any terrorists from northern Nigeria or from any part of the world. Biafraland is not a dumping ground for terrorists. For that reason, the Biafra Defense Forces have destroyed the property and the facilities, and of course, anything that is connected to it will be destroyed in Biafraland. It is a message that we are sending out to the terrorist state to prove the capacity that Biafra government controls Biafra territory from exile, and of course, with the activities of the de facto government in the homeland. The responsiveness of the Biafra government has shown that the Biafra government take the security of lives and properties of our people, especially our women and children, very seriously. We have fought Nigeria terrorism for the past 3 years, secretly. And I wish one day the world will want to know what has happened in Biafraland from 2021 to this date. And we have been able to secure successfully the land of Biafra. It is only in Biafraland that our people are not living in IDP camp. Across Nigeria, every other region, people are living in IDP camp. Like they have come shambolically, claiming that people from the north will be moved to Biafraland, where Biafra forces and defense have been able to secure our land against the terrorism. We also have intel that the proposed movement of these people were actually in order to bring in Boko Haram fighters to Biafraland to fight against Biafra forces. My fellow Biafran, in Yoruba land, the Yorubas are taking refuge in neighboring country, Benin Republic, for insecurity by the Nigeria terrorism or Nigeria terrorist state in the name of the Islamic expansionist Usman Danfodio legacy. Many Yorubas are today living in Benin Republic. They left the ancestral land as they are looking for a safe place to stay. The people that have chased them out of the ancestral land are Fulanis. They call them Fulani herdsmen. They have occupied Yoruba land, and today many of them have left their land and they are not secured in their own land. Biafra land will not be the same. Biafra will continue to respond to Nigeria terrorism plan and tactics very ruthlessly in defense of our land. While Nigeria terrorist state have openly supported Palestine independence and continue to financially support terrorism against Israel, the Biafra people will continue to stand with Israel, and at the same time, we are not against those agitating for independence of South Palestine or for self-determination. But we are strongly against the terrorism against Israel and against the state of Israel. Nigeria always go to the United Nations General Assembly to advocate for the freedom and self-determination of Palestine. And these are people who have not fixed their own problem in Niger area. Today, we will do worse than what the Palestinians have done, if that is what will make the world to listen to us. Palestine have not lost 3 million children. We did. We lost 3 million children from 1967 to 1970. Palestine have not lost what Biafra lost. Palestine do not have what Biafra have. We power Nigeria's economy from our natural resources. What do we get in return? Marginalization, killing, pogroms, and what have you. On this note, just for the latecomers who have not followed the event of Nigeria and Biafra for a very long time, I want the Biafra media to play the representation and advocating of the independence of Palestine by the former president of Nigeria in the name of Muhammadu Buhari, because I have come across many people commenting on social media and they were outraged about the current vice president, who is, by the way, the founder of Boko Haram, advocating for independent state of Palestine. I would like the media team to play that, as on that particular rock, I will build my church today. Media team, over to you, please.
As we engage in these annual debates, we need to remind ourselves of the principles that led to the founding of the United Nations. Among those are peaceful coexistence and self-determination of peoples. In this context, Mr. President, the unresolved question of self-determination for the Palestinian people and those of Western Sahara, both nations having been adjudged by the United Nations as qualifying for this inalienable right, must now be assured and fulfilled without any further delay or obstacle. The international community has come to pin its hopes on resolving the Palestinian issue through the two has no more excuses or reasons to delay the implementation of the long list of Security Council resolutions on this question. Neither do we have the moral right to deny any people their freedom or condemn them indefinitely to occupation and blockade. Mr. President, delegates of member countries, United Nations is 70 years old. It can
Thank you very much. I would also like to have the latest video from the United Nations General Assembly of the current Vice President of Nigeria, who was the founder of Boko Haram. Thank you very much.
Today, we are all witnesses to the heart-wrenching situation in Gaza and other Palestinian territories. We cannot discuss war and peace, conflicts and resolution, or humanitarian imperatives today without reflecting on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has been raging since 7th August last year. Of course, the conflict predates this period and has been simmering for a better part of half a century. What it tells us is that the international community has failed to live up to the spirit and aspirations of the United Nations to rid the world of inequality, violence, and domination of one people by another. Justice is antithetical to revenge. Freedom is an inalienable right and a natural entitlement that cannot be denied to any people. The Palestinian people deserve their independence. They deserve to have a home of their own in territories already recognized by this very assembly and by international law, which is being routinely ignored. Nigeria continues to urge efforts to bring back on track the two-state solution that offers the prospect for a new beginning for the region. Nigeria reaffirms to supporting United Nations peacekeeping operations. We recognize the need for Africa to build strong and professional armies to meet the multiple challenges we face. Consequently, we reiterate the call for international support to operationalize the African Standby Force, in addition to the provision of requisite support and resources to ensure the upgrade, take-up, and effectiveness of a center of excellence on issues of counterterrorism in Africa. Mr. President, reform of the Security Council is critical if the UN is to strengthen its relevance and credibility in our rapidly changing world. Some permanent members of the United Nations Security Council have offered encouraging, if tentative, indications of support on the issue of reform.
Thank you very much. My fellow Biafrans and listeners from across the world, with the clip you just listened to, the last one is the current Vice President of Nigeria, who is the founder of Boko Haram. The first video you listened to was the former President of Nigeria, who also was one of the Islamic pillar, fundamentalism pillar in Nigeria and in Africa. Nigeria with this has demonstrated to be enemy of America and enemy of the West. While the Biafra will continue to support the state of Israel, have you seen that this is a black and white that can never mix together? Nigeria have advocated for the independent state of Palestine, which we are not against as a people looking for freedom. But what we are against is terrorism against the state of Israel. And the 7th of October attack, terrorism attack against Israel, Biafra people continue to condemn that terrorist attack. Nigeria, having advocated in 2024 for the independent state of Palestine, should be bold enough to also accept the outcome of the Biafra self-referendum in peace or in pieces. I want you all to understand that Nigeria can never be trusted. America can never trust Nigeria. The West can never trust Nigeria. Nigeria remains an Islamic fundamentalist country that all the agenda is to support anything anti-West and anti-America. It does not matter how they pretend with you today, they will end up becoming your worst enemy. The earlier the world, the Western world and America accept the state of Biafra as only true allies in the West Africa, the better for them. Examples are many. I will use Iraq. I can also use Afghanistan. After 23 years, America pumped billions of dollars into Afghanistan. Today, Taliban are completely in charge of American weapons that America struggled for 23 years to stabilize that country. Nigeria will do worse than Afghanistan if Biafra is not supported. There are several compelling reasons why as many as 50 million Biafrans who voted in the ongoing Biafra self-referendum use their vote to advocate for independence of Biafra. The reasons are very numerous. And I will take it one at a time. From the historical injustices against Biafra people, the Nigeria genocidal war against Biafra from 1967 to 1970, also known as the Biafra War, was a brutal chapter in Nigeria history. The eastern region, known as Biafra, declared independence as the Republic of Biafra after enduring many years of systematic marginalization and violent pogroms in the northern Nigeria and other parts of Nigeria. The war resulted in an estimated 1 to 3 million deaths, children, primarily from starvation due to the blockade imposed by the Nigeria terrorist government. This tragic history has left deep scars in millions of Biafrans and, of course, in Biafra consciousness, especially when the post-war reconciliation was superficial and incomplete, with the IRRR. The continuous reference of the Biafra War serves as a painful reminder that the Biafra people were once persecuted and betrayed by a country that was supposed to protect them. That betrayal has tripled today after over 50 years. We have seen the killings of Biafrans and destruction of their businesses across Nigeria, not just in the northern Nigeria today, but also in the southwest Yoruba land. In Lagos, to be precise, we saw pogroms against Biafrans in Lagos after 2023 election. And I will take it on the economic exploitation. As Nigeria celebrates their false, failed independence, the division of Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones without the consent of the people was an injustice taken too far, that have cut the wound of the war even deeper than as we thought. The eastern region, which is supposed to be called Southeasterner or Southeast region, in accordance with the geography, today it is called the Southeast instead of the Southern region. They manipulated the geographic, manipulated the demography in order to fight the freedom and suppress and subjugate Biafra people not to rise up. The region which would form the heart of modern Biafra is rich in natural resources, particularly oil. Despite this wealth, the artificial and the fake Southeast feel disappropriately excluded from the economic and political benefit of their own land. The so-called Niger Delta, which majority falls within the Biafra, the proposed Biafra borders of today, generate a significant portion of Nigeria wealth through crude oil. Yet, that region remains underdeveloped, suffering from poor infrastructure, environmental degradation, and poverty. Yet, they are faced with Nigeria terrorist army bombardment, like the recent killing in the Biafra Okoma community in Delta. The argument for Biafra is also an economic one. The resources of the Biafra people are being siphoned to enrich a far distant federal government in Abuja, while the region remains underdeveloped. That is coming to an end with the declaration of the restoration of independent state of Biafra, coming this year, 2024. My fellow Biafrans, we also suffered what I call the political marginalization within the Nigeria state. Since the end of the Biafra war, Biafra people have constantly been sidelined from the Nigeria political landscape, despite being one of the three largest ethnic groups. No Igbo-speaking Biafra person has held the presidency since 1983. Key government positions, security appointments, and the military leadership role are disproportionately skewed in favor of the Northern Hausa, Fulani, and Western Yoruba elites. Many Igbo-speaking Biafrans believe, and of course it's a fact, that this is a deliberate exclusion from power to prevent their voices from being heard in decision-making process. While those who happen to be very close to power have sold their subconsciousness to self-aggrandizement, those who may have positive agenda that could shape the country future are not allowed. But for complete freedom of